Two things arise from this absolutely damning finding. The first question, and I think it's a very, very important question for SIPO, is why on earth did they have a report completed, and the date is on the front of the report, on the 21st of October 2024, so well over a month, about 6 weeks before the general election, and they didn't publish it. They suppressed this report, they sat on it for 8 weeks. Like, we know that there's a problem in terms of SIPO's sanctioning powers. They can't really do much about TDs who break the ethical rules, ministers who break the ethical rules. The one thing that they can do is to shed light on it and then allow the public to make their mind up. They had completed this report. I really do not understand. I think there's very serious questions for SIPO as to why they didn't publish this report in advance of the general election. Surely the people of Longford Westmeath had the right to know that my complaints had been investigated, my complaints had been vindicated, and that he had been found to be repeatedly in breach of the legislation, not just inadvertently, but negligently in a number of cases, that the Commission found it was a serious matter, that they found it was a specified act as provided for under the ethics legislation. Like, surely the people of Longford Westmeath had a right to know that. It's then up to them whether they decide to re-elect Robert Troy, knowing that or not. But it seems that someone in SIPO took a decision not to inform people, which denudes the kind of only power that they have left, you know? So they have this damning report on Robert Troy, that's positive. They can't recommend any sanctions in relation to Robert Troy, but the one thing they could have done was to tell the public about it. So I think there is a very, very serious question there for SIPO that I don't think anyone has asked so far. How it is that I got this report, presumably Robert Troy got this report yesterday, on the 10th of December, when the report says 21st of October. There's no explanation in the report for the delay. There's no explanation in the legislation for any reason that there would be a delay. So there's a serious question there. The second question is a question for Fianna Fáil, whether they think it is appropriate for someone to have been found by SIPO to have breached the ethics legislation to continue as a TD for Fianna Fáil. He breached the ethics legislation not just once, but repeatedly. In no sense has he been vindicated by this report. This report is utterly damning, and I think there's now questions for Micheál Martin about whether it is appropriate for someone to have such a damning finding by SIPO against them to continue as a Fianna Fáil TD.